The Vietnam War was a clash of ideologies, cultures, and military doctrines. It was a conflict where conventional warfare met its match in the jungles and rice paddies of Southeast Asia. The United States, armed with superior firepower and technology, faced a determined enemy that employed guerrilla warfare with devastating effectiveness. The Viet Cong, the communist guerrilla force in South Vietnam, understood their terrain. They were masters of camouflage and deception, blending seamlessly into the dense jungle. They operated in small, highly mobile units, striking quickly and disappearing before American forces could respond effectively. This unconventional warfare presented a unique challenge to the American military, which was trained for traditional battlefields. The Viet Cong's tactics turned the jungle into a weapon, negating American technological advantages and creating an atmosphere of constant fear and uncertainty. The Vietnam War became a brutal lesson in the effectiveness of guerrilla warfare. It exposed the limitations of conventional military thinking when confronted with a determined and elusive enemy fighting on its own terms. The Viet Cong's success stemmed from their ability to exploit the environment and their deep understanding of guerrilla warfare principles. Their tactics were designed to harass, ambush, and demoralize the enemy while minimizing their own casualties. One of their most effective tactics was the use of elaborate tunnel systems. These underground networks provided shelter, communication routes, and supply caches. The tunnels allowed the Viet Cong to disappear quickly after attacks, making it nearly impossible for American forces to engage them in prolonged battles. The Viet Cong also excelled at booby traps, turning everyday objects into deadly weapons. Punji sticks, concealed pits filled with spikes, inflicted gruesome injuries on unsuspecting American soldiers. Tripwires rigged with grenades and mines added to the constant fear of sudden and violent death. Ambushes were another hallmark of Viet Cong tactics. They would often target American patrols in jungle corridors, unleashing a hail of gunfire and grenades before melting back into the undergrowth. These surprise attacks not only inflicted casualties but also kept American forces on edge, eroding their morale over time. The Vietnam War was marked by small-scale engagements and guerrilla tactics. The Viet Cong dictated terms, swiftly withdrawing after attacks. The Battle of Ia Drang highlighted the challenges of fighting guerrillas. The Tet Offensive in 1968 was a turning point, shattering American progress. The Battle of Khe Sanh showed the Viet Cong's ability to engage in prolonged sieges. Section 4. The Invisible Enemy, Psychological Warfare and American Morale. The Viet Cong's guerrilla tactics extended beyond the physical battlefield. They waged a relentless campaign of psychological warfare, aiming to undermine American morale and erode public support for the war effort. The constant threat of ambush and booby traps created a climate of fear and paranoia among American soldiers. The jungle, once a neutral environment, became a source of dread, every shadow a potential enemy combatant. The Viet Cong's ability to blend in with the local population made it difficult for American forces to distinguish friend from foe. This uncertainty led to civilian casualties and further fueled resentment towards the war. The Viet Cong's propaganda efforts, disseminated through leaflets and radio broadcasts, exploited racial tensions in American society and portrayed the war as unwinnable. These messages, coupled with the brutality of the fighting and the growing casualty lists, took a heavy toll on American morale. Section 5. Adapting to Survive, the Evolution of American Military Strategy. The US military adapted to guerrilla warfare in Vietnam, creating specialized units like the Green Berets and the Mobile Riverine Force. These units focused on jungle warfare, civic action and intelligence gathering. Air power and artillery became crucial, with helicopter gunships and B-52 bombers providing support. However, this led to civilian casualties and destruction, complicating the mission. Section 6. Echoes of Vietnam Guerrilla Warfare in the 21st Century. The lessons of guerrilla warfare learned in Vietnam continue to resonate in modern military conflicts. From the mountains of Afghanistan to the streets of Iraq, insurgents and terrorist organizations have adopted many of the same tactics employed by the Viet Cong. The use of improvised explosive devices, suicide bombings, and the blending of insurgents with civilian populations have become defining features of 21st century warfare. These tactics pose significant challenges to conventional militaries, requiring a multifaceted approach that combines military force with political and economic initiatives. The Vietnam War demonstrated that military victory alone does not guarantee success in a counterinsurgency. Winning the hearts and minds of the local population is crucial to undermining the support base of guerrilla movements. The legacy of Vietnam serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us that technological superiority and military might are not always enough to defeat a determined and elusive enemy fighting for its survival. Section 7. Conclusion. Enduring lessons from the Vietnam experience. The Vietnam War stands as a stark reminder of the challenges and complexities of guerrilla warfare. The Viet Cong's mastery of unconventional tactics, their exploitation of the terrain, and their relentless psychological warfare